everybody. This is Damon Hart, Foxy Homebuyer, the Foxy Homebuyer, and I want to welcome everyone here to another episode of The Real Men of Real Estate. I'm going to be your host today in this episode, and I'm super excited because, we have a really awesome guest here today. If it's your first time seeing me in person, I want to just kind of let you know a little bit about myself. I'm a long-term investor. I've been in the real estate business over the last 15 years. I started out in single-family real estate. Now, what does that mean? I was just a guy that had a friend that, I went to a seminar years ago when there were seminars that happened. And I got started by just buying my first house, flipping it to another investor and making a little bit of money. And eventually, I got enough guts, grow a little bit and do another house and another house. And years later, we've purchased over $50 million in real estate. And I've helped thousands of people get exposed to real estate and also helped several folks get into real estate investing. The cool thing about what we're able to do here at Foxy Homebuyer, and I've been able to do with my team, is expose just the world and the land of real estate. For a lot of folks, it's foreign to them to understand how. Everybody knows that money is made in real estate, but just how? And I feel like we've done a fantastic job over the last several years to just be able to show people it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be just one way. One thing that people can know with real estate and Foxy Homebuyer is just to make sure that they stay plugged into what we have available. I'm going to share a little bit on today's show about that and how we do it. And I'm also going to bring my special friend and guest here today to tell you his story on how he got into real estate and some of the the concerns and challenges he had. But I wanted to first just give everybody a quick little intro and just say, hey, we're here, part of the KCAA network. We're just super stoked to have you here. We're also affiliate with CNBC. And we're household-wise, we're in about 5 million households throughout the Los Angeles area. So we're glad that you're here. If you miss us for whatever reason, you can totally get the replay on the show, on Roku, Amazon, and pretty much any other social media you can find us on, okay? But we're not here for all that today. We want to welcome you and welcome our special guest today, my good friend in studio, Brandon Elliott. Brandon, thanks so much for being here, brother.
What's happening, man? I appreciate you having me.
Of course. Before you got here, little calamity. It took something for you to get here today, man. So I guess real quick, before we get into who you are, what happened down in Mexico?
Yeah. What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. No,
right.
What the listeners or people can't see probably is I got a broken ankle right now. I just had surgery yesterday. 2 weeks ago, I was down volunteering at a mentor's of mine. He has this orphanage down in Mexico, Baja, Mexico.
Yeah.
We were just doing some work. We were painting, helping out with our mastermind, and afterwards, it's kind of like a tradition to go play soccer with the kids.
Of course.
I mean, it's only right. The thing is, Gringo couldn't handle it, basically, and the terrain's all different. We were down by 2. I started getting competitive, and I got a little, a 5-foot break of, taking off with the ball, and something happened. I just went down.
Oh.
So I heard 2 snaps, and 3 doctors later realized, yes, this is legitimate. It was kind of 2 nasty breaks on it, and I had to get surgery yesterday. So
yeah,
part of the entrepreneur. I don't even know if it's part of life, right?
It's just part of life.
It's just part of life, baby. Yeah.
That's perfect. But what you said, it was funny because when it happened, I heard about it through your social, and you were saying hey man, you sometimes just gotta play hurt.
Yeah. You just gotta go
for it. The show don't stop.
Yeah.
And here you are. So I'm stoked to have you here, man. I'm glad that you could make it. For everybody else that's here, just hearing about you for the first time. We've been good buddies now, and in our interaction here over the last few months, I think you're just doing amazing stuff. So I want to have you on. So for everybody that's just hearing about you for the first time,
sure.
Tell me a little bit about you. I know you're from Jersey.
Right?
Yeah,
Jersey.
So, take us back. Tell us a little bit about you and what you've done.
So I go by real estate investor and credit specialist.
Right.
That's how I got started into real estate, was utilizing and leveraging credit. So I realized at a young age that credit was the catalyst to be able to really compound my success and do it in real estate. That's what the rich people were doing. I started mimicking that, right?
Yeah.
Success leaves clues. So that's what I found myself going down that rabbit hole. But I grew up in New Jersey, and a single parent mother, blessing of a woman, raised 3 misfits. And long story short, at a very young age, she's manic depressive bipolar. And at a young age, we realized that, the American poor, that's just what it was. We were living off of food stamps, Section 8 housing, help from local churches and schools. And overall, it was like, just $1,000 a month from Social Security. It was barely enough. We're still blessed. I can't stress that enough. It's not like, different third world country type of poor.
Right.
But that was the motivation that I needed. Long story short, fast forward, I found myself doing door knocking and for selling Kirby vacuum cleaners.
Oh, really? You were that guy?
I was that guy.
Wow.
And so we were selling $3,500 vacuum cleaners door to door here in San Diego. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process and the systems and the sales aspect, right?
Yeah.
Sales you can utilize for everything in life.
For sure.
Well, I got recruited into an investment company at the time, and that's where I fell in love with really real estate. We were focusing on NODs at the time, notice of default.
Okay. So what's an NOD for somebody who's just kind of getting familiar?
So it's like pre-foreclosure.
Okay.
So notice of default. So once they find themselves not paying their mortgage, they start going into the foreclosure process, right? And then it will go to auction. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to help out these homeowners going through these tough times back in 2012 after 2008, the recession and everything, and the total housing collapse. And overall just figure out how to either get them hooked up with a modification on their loan or have them sell it to us so that, they could get out of their tough situation, not get this, foreclosure on their records and be able to jump into something a lot sooner.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, right? As being in the real estate space myself as an investor for a bunch of years, that's something that we all experience and know, especially around that time, right?
Sure.
2000 and you said 2008, 12-ish.
Well, it was 2012 when I got started. Yeah. And really that company was a little bit of education, but way more motivation. Mm. That was what I went down this rabbit hole of going down my own education afterwards. Okay. All the books, podcasts, YouTube, stuff like this to be able to really unlock what I needed to succeed in real estate. And then it just snowballed. So 2015, I finally started getting real estate, but I utilized credit to be able to get in there. Okay. So credit cards and paying contractors with credit cards, not getting screwed over by contractors. Uh-huh. When there's a will, there's a way. I'm a firm believer in that. And I found the path, which was real estate, but credit was that will for me. That was my path to be able to do it. And going from broke, busted, disgusted, back then to now we have over $8.5 million in real estate assets and $30K a month in passive income. It's a pretty damn good feeling. So
yeah, and just hearing your story from, when we have so many, everybody loves a rags to riches story, right?
Yeah.
That's like the most
it's
fun
that hero
part.
Journey.
Of course,
yep.
being in America, this is the land of opportunity. Sure. But it's really cool because just hearing your story, it's similar with a lot of other people's journey, and it has started with number one, wanting something more, mm-hmm. and then you had to go to work. And it sounds like your process was so many different things, right? You started out, in door to door vacuum sales. It turned into this, and then it turned into something else. And now you're sitting on dang near $10 million in assets. And this is not 30 years. This is what?
Just a couple years in the game, and really, we're just getting our feet wet. So I'm pretty excited. And what kind of transcribed after that and during the whole process was having a lot of people come up to me saying, "Hey, I want to get into real estate. Like, I believe in real estate," but they kept on putting it on the back burner saying, well, I need to get a bunch of money over here doing whatever they're doing because they thought that was the key to get the money. Then they would put it into real estate. And that just wasn't the case for me. So long story short, I started showing people how to do it. Mm. and it just turned down this rabbit hole of us really coming up with a curriculum to teach people in Credit Counsel Elite how to be able to get, business owners how to get up to $500,000 every 6 months at 0% interest, so that they can get all the funding they need and be able to close on these deals, be able to really grow and scale their business and take it to the next level.
Dude, that is powerful, because when you start talking to 500,000 every 6 months, okay, people are going to start listening.
Sure.
So look, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to get into more of the meat, the potatoes, how someone can get started. But in closing out, I mean, we're about to hop into a break.
Yeah.
I guess if there's one thing that you can remember, before we go to break, what was the one thing that you feel that stops people from getting into real estate? Real quick.
Yeah, I think it's just fear. Lack of education brings fear, because you never done it, you don't know. So once you get proper education and you realize how simple and easy it can be, then of course, like, everything else will really manifest and fold into where it needs to go.
For sure. All right, magic.
Yeah.
All right, so look, we're just gonna hop into a quick break.
Cool.
Please tune back in. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and you guys will have the opportunity to talk listen again with Brandon and I, and just really get to find out a little bit more about that business and how it actually works. So stay tuned.